Welcome to Faithfully Us, a space where faith meets family and quiet voices are heard. If you're looking for encouragement and real talk, you're in the right place. Let's walk this journey together. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Faithfully Us. Thank you so much for sticking with us on this journey. So, the topic for today's episode is friendships. What did friendships look like for us back home? What did friendships look like for us before we got married, and what friendship looked like for us now?
When you're younger, meaning like from 5 to like, let's say 10, did you have a lot of friends? Were you always around a lot of people, things of that sort?
I want to say back then and to now, I've always had, I want to say like maybe a handful of people who were true friends to me. I felt like I had a lot of acquaintances, but I don't think I would say, oh yeah, I was the life of the party. I had a ton of friends. No, I think I had a handful amount of friends, and then I just do a lot of people. I feel like, it was kind of easy to make friends, especially when school's out, the neighbor across the road, her grandkids are over and you guys wave and now you're all playing all summer. So I feel like I wish, what I wish too, I wish I could go back and get people's names and see how they were doing, how they're doing now and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I remember playing with people, but I don't remember names or,
Yeah.
whatever happened.
Yep.
I remember it was one summer I was still living in Suites, and there was a girl. I saw this girl, me and my cousin. We were like, oh, look, there's a girl we could play with. So we started playing with her.
I think you have to explain what sweets is.
Oh, it's a village in Antigua. So equivalent to a city here.
Small
Um,
city, tiny city,
Small city town.
minuscule city.
So I grew up in Sweets Village, and that's where I lived a lot of my life, countryside. So yeah, so there was this girl, and my cousin and we started playing with her, and her dad lived just a couple houses away from where we used to live, and she was staying with her dad for the summer. So all summer, I remember we played with her and stuff. And then the summer ended and we went to look for her, and it was just her dad. And her dad's like, oh, she went back to live with her mom. I think she lived overseas. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so just those things. When you were younger, I feel like it was easy for you to make friends.
Yeah.
You just start talking, your kids, what do you like? This is what I like. And then that's it,
That's funny you said that because like I don't remember having any friends except for friends at school.
Oh,
Like that's the
really?
only thing was just friends at school, whether it's preschool, primary school, all my friends. Well, primary school, I want to say like halfway through. That's when I met Jason Rawdon and stuff like that. And then I think from then is where my first set of like real friendships started. And yeah, it wasn't everything was school. And then because I always played sports and everything, I always played cricket after school. So I think that's where my friendship started. And and I think it wasn't until junior 5, which is what is that here?
Junior 5.
Is it
That's
like
like
grade
11,
4?
12. No, that's
Or is it
s-
grade 6?
sixth grade, maybe sixth grade,
6th grade?
fifth, sixth grade,
I
I would
think
say.
I think it might be 5th grade still. So 5th grade here is when I started like having like friends that like I went over to their houses and hung out and stuff like that. And it's interesting because like as I think back now, um my friendships throughout my life, it's always been like 2 friends at a time. So I never really thought about that until right now where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know why that is, but it just seems like there's always just like 2 friends that
I think mine was like 4,
uh
like consistent friends. So what about when you're at home, you're playing outside in the yard?
mhm.
You
it
didn't None of your neighbors had any
it
kids or
was
anything, or like you like, "Eh."
that might have been it. That might have been it. It might not have been a lot of like kids my age immediately around me. So I know a lot of times it was me and my sister playing, it was me and my cousins playing
Okay.
and stuff like that. It wasn't a whole lot of other kids. And I remember there were times where because the field was like a little bit away from me, And then, of course, I'm into cricket and stuff, so I want to go down, and I would say my mom wouldn't want me to go down by myself and stuff like
Go.
that. So yeah, so I think that's the only thing is that that's where I think like kids would be is at the
Yeah, at
field,
the field, and you weren't
but
allowed
then
to
I
go.
wasn't allowed to walk down there by myself until I was like maybe like
Yeah.
11 or 12 or something.
Well, because
So
now that I'm thinking, right,
mm,
like when I was younger, at that age, the age of like 5 to 10, there was a lot of families with kids
mhm,
when I grew up in Suites. Now, when I moved, my mom and my family and I moved to Painters. When we moved there was not really anybody,
yeah,
right? So there was like one kid who went to our secondary school, and then, a really good friend of mine, she moved in across the street. We went to two different schools, and that's kind of how
yeah,
we became friends. It's like, oh, hey, hi, how are you?
hmm
And we got to talking, and like I said, I think it was easier to make friends back then, but now it's a little different, right? Like you're guarded and
yeah.
yeah.
It also depends too because I feel like friends back there, you didn't need to be thinking, "Oh, do we have anything in common?
No,
Do we
not
like
at
this? Do
all.
we like the
Not at
same
all.
music? Do we like the same things?
Not at
Oh,
all.
what are the political views
Yeah,
like?"
no. Or like follow
So,
me on Facebook.
yeah.
There was none of that. It
So,
was like, hey, let's play. What are we
yeah.
doing? We're just running around, we're climbing trees.
Mhm.
Growing up, I felt like I was a tomboy. I love to be barefoot. I love to climb trees. So we're just running around doing that. Riding our bikes,
It's funny.
we're doing that.
It's funny because 'cause you're the country girl and I was like the city boy kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. It's funny because like, Sweets is in the country, and I never really equated
Yeah,
me.
we don't think about that when we're
What,
there.
the country? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah?
do. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I never really thought about that, honestly.
Oh, yeah, we do. And mom was like, "Yeah, I'm not
I know
my
some
mom's like,
people.
"I'm not moving back to the country."
Yeah, I know some people wilder than other people, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but I never really considered sweets and like
Oh, yeah. But
those
they
places like countryside
Oh,
or
yeah,
anything like
that's
that. So
countryside
that's probably because I wasn't
for
from there. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. And I never equated that to the fact that I never liked to wear shoes.
Mm.
The fact that, my
See,
cousin and I were always climbing trees,
yeah, I'm always wearing shoes.
Yeah,
So
and we had these huge trees that we could climb up on, and didn't like to wear shoes. Took off my shoes. I was running around. My grandma used to yell at me, to put my shoes on, and the amount of times that stuff would poke me in the foot, would dig me in the foot. See, I told her, and she would be yelling at me, I told you, but then she would pull it out, and I would I would run right back to not wearing shoes again.
you sound a lot like our youngest daughter.
Okay.
Like that personality sounds a lot like her. So
Oh my gosh, wild and
yeah,
carefree? Yeah. It's funny just thinking back to those days. Just Anyway, it takes me back. Good
yeah.
old days.
So how did friends look for you after you went into secondary school? Because I know that's when my friendship started to kind of evolve a
Blossom.
little bit. So
I think so too. And I think like I had a core group of friends. And I think, I don't know, every forum I went into, I had like a different group of friends, people I still talk to right now, people who I don't talk to anymore, but if I see them back home, of course, like, hey, how are you?
yeah,
And we catch up, or we're friends on Facebook,
yeah,
but I think that's when you start to develop quote unquote like true
yeah.
friendships.
Because
But
you're developing as a person, you're into your
exactly.
teenage years and stuff like that, experiencing a whole bunch of different things,
I
and other
yeah.
people going through the same stuff with like you. So
Uh-huh. And what about you? Was it the same for you?
it was, but it was a strange period for me because I feel like I was just in that mode where I was starting to like open up a little bit. I was starting to have some close friends, some people that I consider close friends,
Yeah.
branching out and meeting their friends and then
Hmm.
becoming friends with them. And then it seems like as soon as I was starting to form that bond, I moved.
Yeah.
And then I moved to a completely different country, completely different culture, everything. I was the odd person out, and then it's like I started over from when I was a kid again,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was just interesting because I was forming that bond or those bonds with people, and then it was kind of broken, and then moving here, I had to start over, and then honestly, I want to say it wasn't until like 2, 3 years into college. Actually, that's not really true. I want to say college until I started like forming like solid bonds and everything that I still have a few relationships now and stuff like that. So,
So what was making friends like in high school here for you? Did you have friends that you would,
um, I had on a year to year basis, I probably had like 2 or 3 friends,
Mhm.
people that I would hang out with. And I remember when I first moved here, there was this one guy from Mexico named Javier. I still remember his name, Javier Mendoza. And
Heavy here, if you're out there,
yeah.
you remember Camoin? He's looking for you.
So I remember we just because just thinking about it now, I'm like, I think it's just because we're so similar in what we're going through. Because he was from Mexico, and he spoke English, but it wasn't perfect English, and it wasn't his first language and stuff like that. And then, of course, I spoke English, but then it was different than American
Accent,
English
yeah,
and my
big
accent and
accent.
everything. And so I think we just kind of had that bond, and we hung out a lot. And then
Outside the school.
outside of school, yeah, yeah, we hung out a lot outside. Maybe a lot for me, maybe not a lot for other people, but like hung out outside of school and stuff. And then there's a couple other friends here and there that we started to hang out and things of that sort. But then he had to move. I think it was the following year. He moved. He had to move back to Mexico. So haven't seen him since. So I just remember that was probably my closest friend in high school, and it was funny because it was such a short period of time, but then like the bond that we had was so actually it was 2 years. The bond we had was kind of tight. So
I wish we would know these things so we could like, hey, let me get your phone number
yeah,
or your
yeah,
email address or whatever was around at that time so we can just keep in
yeah,
contact. Because you never know, like you think back to those things and it's like, whatever happened to
yeah,
him, you hope he's doing good and
yeah.
what's he been up to and things like that.
Hmm.
Um,
And I think part of that was on me too, because there's a couple other friends that I had. We after graduation, like I'm bad at keeping in touch with
I
people.
same.
So after graduation, I never really reached out and stuff like that. And it was just on to the next thing. Of course, you have a new life in college and in
Yeah.
school. You guys aren't going to the same school, and then yeah. So that was kind of on me. I'm pretty bad at keeping in touch. So
That was me too. And
mm,
I wonder if it was just all part of like the growing up experience and us learning because I wish that I didn't live when I was in Jersey, I didn't live on campus. So I commuted to school and I still had a lot of the friends that I had in high school. Like we still talk, we still hung out and stuff like that. Cause I think because I was still living in the same city
gotcha,
that they
gotcha.
were in. Now, once I moved to Colorado, that kind of,
Yeah,
shifted. I still kept in touch with maybe just like a few people, 3 or 4 people, we would text and stuff. But as life just
yeah,
continued on, I got more busy.
yeah.
I didn't have time to, turn into just a couple texts,
And you know what I would say? I'm so thankful for text messaging because I'm not a phone call person. I do not make phone calls, and
Oh,
I know one friend got pretty upset with me because I would have called,
yeah, I just
and we're still good friends now. We're still really really good friends. But I remember he
who was
was
it?
Tyrone.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrone was like, he was telling me, man, he never calls me. What kind of friend is that? I was like, I'm sorry, man, but we text, but I'm not a phone call person, so I just text people. But I think if it wasn't for text messaging, I wouldn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
good relationships with people because I do not make phone calls. I do not call people often and things of that sort. So, going back, I think you skipped over your high school. How was the high school friendships for you?
I think it was fine. I mean, it was rough to adjust, but then I had a few solid friends and continued on over the years and stuff. But I think once I got over that, that culture and I made friends. I had, I felt like I had different pockets of friends, right? So like, there was these group I hung out with, and this one, and they never really all came together because they were
Mm. Oh,
different.
okay, gotcha. Explain that dynamic because when you say that, I think like
Like
you have like the goth clique, you have like that,
because my favorite color is black and
and you have goth
I don't
tendencies.
have my favorite color is black, so I wore a lot of black, especially in high school. So Kamoy just thought I was
What
goth. I was not.
was your choice of music?
Okay, we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to get into that. All right, whatever. I was not. So no, I just had different group of friends, um, different pockets of friends that they did not interact at all,
Yeah.
right? So it was
Why was that though?
I feel like the high school I went to was very like not I'm not segregated is not the word, but like
Clicky.
clicky. So
Mhm.
everybody, so we had the Puerto Ricans
Oh,
only
gotcha,
hung out
gotcha,
with Puerto
gotcha, gotcha.
Ricans.
Okay.
The Dominicans only hung out with the Dominicans. You got the popular kids, you got the
Jocks.
nerds, you got the jocks, you
Yeah.
got the cheerleaders, you got um
Gangbangers.
Gay oh,
Yeah.
yes. You got that. You got the alternative folks.
Mm, okay.
You know, you got the
Man, you
Asian
got a lot of diversity at your high school.
yes, you got the Asian kids. It was Filipino. You got the Filipino kids who kinda hung out with themselves on you know what I mean? So it
Mhm.
was like that, but I was in little pockets of and it's weird because thinking back, it was like, "Oh, me?" Like, I would come to lunch, "Chrissy, over here." I'm like, "Oh, the popular kid?" You know what I mean? But it wasn't like
Did you question, "Am I popular?"
but no, because I didn't care about
No.
that, it was just like, "Oh,
I think we
hey."
didn't quite understand
We
it.
didn't quite
Yeah, we
understand.
didn't I
So
know looking back, I didn't understand a lot of those different things.
yeah. So
So,
I just rotated, like, because I didn't see it as, "Oh, here, I'm in this, I'm in that." No, I'm just me, and these are the friends that I like to hang out, and they would hang out outside of school, and we would do this, and we would do that. So, yeah, I think I had a good amount of friends. I think everything just kinda shifted a little once I moved to Colorado because you don't see them as often, and
yeah, people
the
move on
phone
with their
calls
lives and
yeah,
yeah.
the phone calls and text messages slow down and things like that. So, what about college years?
College years was it was like, I feel as though every single section of my friendship, like, building block, I built stronger relationships.
Mhm.
So, I feel as though the strongest relationships I have right now is are the friends I've made over the last 10 years. In college, like, I built some very strong relationships with a couple people, but then again, with me, it's probably partially my fault. Moving on with life, and then we're not in the same school, we're not in the same
Mhm.
city anymore. Losing touch and things like that, and life with everyone, and um, I'm really just in touch with one person right now from school, from college.
From college.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it was interesting because looking back and seeing how close we were and like how much time we spent together, it's like, man, this is crazy that with life and everything, this is what it led to and stuff like that.
But I
So,
think there was a lot of ups and downs
mhm,
in life that kind of just made things
yeah,
a little separate. There's people who oh yeah, this has been my friend for we've been
yeah,
college friends, and
yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish I could have that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's people I'm still friends with um
But
on Facebook.
yeah, but
And it's
yes,
Facebook
yeah,
stuff, and it's like, but I see people like, yeah, every year or yeah, every month we get together and we have a girls. These are my college friends. I don't have that. Or you
yeah,
see people get married and they have this big
yeah.
wedding party, and it's like, yeah, these were my friends from high school
From
and college.
elementary school,
And I'm like,
yeah,
man, y'all still because for me, my oldest friend, shout out Celeste, she and I have been friends for gosh, over
30,
30 plus years
yeah,
maybe. Um, we went to the same primary school, we went to the same secondary school, um, and then we kinda just, life, and I think we've had moments of, "Oh, yeah, I know her," but we're not super close, and then I think, the deepening of our friendship came of when we were adults,
mm,
so she's my oldest, longest term friend, and, yeah, so that's nice, but I got 1,
yeah,
and then after her is Sharon, right? I got 2, you know what I mean? So I just feel like it's nice seeing, people, have that, but for me,
yeah,
I think I need a lot of my friendships are pretty low maintenance, right? We don't need to see each other every day, and a lot of Sharon and Celeste live in Antigua, right?
Yeah.
Different country. A lot of my other friends live not in the same city I live in,
Mhm.
so I'm pretty low maintenance with
Yeah.
my friendships, and we need that.
And I think you're lucky with that because I feel as though I am too, because I can literally go back home and see people I haven't seen in 30 years. And my mindset would be we pick up right back
Right.
where we left
Mhm.
off. But I don't think a lot of people see it that way. And I think because you haven't shared the experiences, you haven't really been close knit for a long period of
Yeah.
time. So even though I feel as though that's what the
Still friends.
relationship is, and we can pick right back up, it might be hard for people.
Yeah.
So
I think it depends on how you view,
yeah,
friendships though,
yeah,
because I think we're just both low maintenance.
hmm
We have low maintenance, and it works out for some. It doesn't work out for
yeah.
others.
That's
Um,
why I feel like my relationship is with Antigua right now. Too.
oh,
So, so
but yeah, I don't know. I think it just works out that way where, yeah, we can talk. I used to go from I'm talking to people multiple times a day
hmm
to now, I don't know, once a week, once every few days. Cause I think when it was just you and I, it's easy.
yeah,
Oh, poop, 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 pop
yeah,
check, done. When we had one kid, oh, easy. Do, do, do.
yeah.
Now that we have three kids, we have school, we have homeworks and stuff. It's like I can't, my
Like
focus has to be on what I'm doing right now. I
yeah,
can't text 10 times a day
yeah.
like when
And
I
you're
used
hanging
to.
out is hanging out with your family.
Yeah,
So
yes. Like I don't have time to do that anymore. It's like, okay, how could I squeeze a hangout in my
yeah,
calendar because we work, the only day we have off together as a family is Sunday. So Sunday is family day. Saturdays, is my other day off, but that won't work because boys at work. You want to hang out with a friend, don't bring the kids. You know what I mean? So it's just different and it's evolved and it's continuing to evolve because it didn't used to be like that, but then now we have 3 kids, it's like,
yeah,
it's just hard, it's
yeah.
just
It's
hard.
crazy because like just seeing the dynamics change over the years and just saying, because I remember when we first got married and everything, I was still going out doing show. I
Yeah,
was doing shows like every weekend.
everyone used to do music.
Yeah, I was doing shows every weekend. We were going down, hanging out with friends. We're driving an hour to an hour and a half to
You
go visit people and stuff like
and it
that.
was fine. It was
Yeah,
just it was just us.
yeah. And then like every kid that got added, it was
Just
like
like
less and less energy,
yeah.
less and less time.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, these are my these are my friends right here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so yeah.
It was yeah, and I think I don't know, life changes and we
Yeah.
just have to go with it and thankful for friends who understand that because I can't talk on the phone for you know what I
Yeah.
mean and plus I don't want to like I'm tired
Yeah.
like
We need to make
so
schedules now to hang out with
yeah
friends.
yes like I can see you in
Yeah.
December
Yeah.
2026 what do you got
Yeah, our friends used to be like, "Hey, what y'all doing right now?
come on
You want
over and like
to?"
okay let's go and get dressed and we'll be
Yeah.
over
Now
it
we need like at least 2 weeks notice.
yeah